Content marketing is going to be one of the main focuses of my marketing plan for my business, Dolezine. That being said, the main strategy will be to drive traffic to my website, dolezine.com. For the content I'll be doing, focusing on making, will be blog posts to give people valuable information. And then that will, lead people eventually to our site. So, doing blog posts daily and keeping up on having good quality blog posts is going to be one of our main focus to have people keep coming back. The types of posts we'll be making is how-tos, life tips, business tips, life hacks, business hacks, all types of videos and content that we plan on having on our blog. So along with making the blog post, I'm going to have a YouTube channel with YouTube videos with the link to the blog post in the description so people can easily find the blog post to show the content of what the video is talking about, which leads to my website. So I'm also going to use other video platforms, Vimeo or BitChute. There's a lot of new video platforms that are popping up that I plan to cross post my videos and content on. So using the podcast and audio content is going to be another more of a long form content platform we're going to be using in our content marketing. So right now I'm using Lisbon as my podcast hosting, and then I also have it then sourced out to iTunes and Shopify or Spotify and all them other podcast platforms where people can easily download it. And then using Pinterest, we do a lot of DIY stuff, so that's going to be where we post all our blogs also to drive more content, and I'll get into more of that a little bit later. Having ambassadors is a great way we think will be to promote our brand and business and website and all that. Having ambassadors, they build your community. They help your chats better. That you can give them special perks and bonuses for spreading the word and referring your site and your blogs to other people that they might have a bigger brand and they can help spread your brand with using their platforms that they've built. That if you help them out, then they might help you out, and that's something we plan on using here in the near future. I had mentioned briefly in another earlier section of this that having an app or an application is something we will plan on doing to share our content. Having your own application gives you more control over the content and how you want it distributed to your audience and your viewers. So this is a great thing, to build brand authority, and if you can have ads on your app, or you can even charge people a small fee to download it, so you're making revenue off the downloads that people purchase it. So also, having an application, it's a great way to build your email list for when people download it. They can sign up to the email list for daily, weekly emails and updates and newsletters. So as I mentioned, it gives you a brand authority having your own app. And how I plan on creating the app is designing the outlining of it, and then taking it to an outsourcing company and have an app building company actually do the actual building of the app using the ideas of how I want it to be built. That's its own whole thing, but that's something we plan on doing in the future. Backlinks is something I realized would be a big part of understanding getting your content viewed, and using SEO to drive traffic to the actual content and the blog and to the website. So different ways to to take advantage of backlinks and, you know, guest posting on blogs that have authority and the, you know, related topics gives you good backlinks. Another way to get backlinks is from social media sites and Pinterest, stumble upon, do collaborations with other creators, and using backlinks to the full thing that you can is something that we use and plan on continuing to use in the future. So internal links is another way on our website. That's just good to if people come across one of your blog links, having other blog links and posts of your own content is a good way to give them background information on what the current post that they're reading is, and instead of giving them links to another site that they might, you know, try and look up what the background information on what you're talking about, you can direct them to your site so they stay on your site, and you're not directing them to other websites, you know. So that's why you're going to need more content, and using links, you know, to the best you can is something that you know, people are lazy, so you want them to be able to just click, you know, and get the information and stay on your website as long as possible. So making it easy for them to do that and find that information is a key thing to sharing your content. So yeah, as I stated before, blogging here is going to be one of the main things we do, and staying up to date on our blog is one of our main focuses that we're going to stick to, and using like time posts and block making content is how we're going to be able to stay on top of having our blogs continually come out. So making a bunch of blogs at one time and then having them come out daily. You can time them when you want them to come out at certain days or times of the day. So utilizing that, and that's going to save us time so we can be able to post as many blogs and high quality content that we can. So, and then you know, within the blogs I'll have all the ad links and affiliate links that people can click on to get those. So the main thing that we're going to focus on, having high quality content, using a good title, using a good subtitle, having good quality pictures, good thumbnails, good thumbnail description, using paragraphs to break up the content for better viewing and best viewing. The blogs will be helpful and practical. Using the same type of structure, you know, to keep the overall brand of all the blog posts is something that we'll be focusing on to keep our branding in mind while creating these blogs, so people know that it's our blog from just looking at it. So all of them should look the same. Using short links and pretty links for making our blog easier to find, so I don't have these huge links that people got to click on and taking up space. So using short links is a cool thing for making your blog easier to be found. Along with templates using, so you, like I said, it makes all your blog posts look the same. So when I'm writing the blogs, you know, have in mind, you know, what I'm promoting at that time, so they're kind of, you know, linked together, so you're not just having one blog post, you're talking about something and then you try and you know, sell something that has nothing to do with the blog or something like that. So having detailed descriptions and the excerpts and all that stuff is a huge part of getting people to actually read the blogs, and having multiple categories we feel will attract more viewers and customers. So our blogs will be pretty diverse and will range from a lot of topics. So so I think producing consistent quality blogs is going to be a big part of our overall content marketing. Having consistent information gives you credibility and authority on the web. Having a plan to do this is a big focus of how we're going to accomplish this, and that is part of what we're doing right now. So keep in mind, just having the blog linked to the podcast and the videos and have everything interlinked, like I mentioned before, with backlinking and inter website linking, which I'll be getting into my website a little bit later, but sticking with content, having a podcast is a great way to get your message out and what you're about, and providing more content for your audience. So like I said, I'm using Lisbon platform right now, and we normally make podcasts around an hour, depending on different topics and what we feel, we can all get into the episode. We do have it on iTunes, as I had mentioned before, and you can get it on our website. We have a page, and I have links to that too, so some of the things, we focus on is personal development and DIY and building, and just all types of topics that we cover on our podcast. Having guests on there, using Skype to bring more different points of view to our podcast is something that we do and plan on doing more of in the future. Having guests, it spreads our viewers and their viewers mixed together, and then my viewers can, start following them, and then their viewers can start following me. So guests that I've had are just some friends and business associates and experts, who focus on certain aspects of what we're talking about that day. So I went to school for electronics, so I set up a podcasting studio and with all the microphones and all that types of stuff. So, making sure we have the best sound quality as possible and being professional as possible on our podcast is something we are focusing on. So, having a background in electronics was a big help to understanding how to set it up and how all that types of stuff works. So, understanding, using the mixers and all the cables and setting everything up, and being able to set up the Skype and all that stuff. So, podcast is, just a great thing. And then also, then you can have advertisers and sponsors on your podcast, and, depending on how many listens you get and downloads, will determine how much sponsors will pay you to be on there. And do you want to have sponsors in the beginning of the podcast, at the end, or in the middle? So just something to think about when creating a podcast that, if you want to have ads on there or not, or, some people don't like having ads on their podcast. So if that's a route, we're still deciding if we're going to go down, or how we're going to be using ads on our podcast. So having good show notes on a podcast is a big part of the podcast, because just listening to it, people can't click, on your website link. So you have to have a spot for them to be able to find your links and get to the call of action that the podcast is directing them to do. So having the show notes in easy readable format and all the information and links that are there is something that's a must for when making podcasts. So make sure, that's one of our focuses, to have good descriptions in our podcast show notes. It also just kind of gives the listener a visual, if they're on their phone, they can, as they're listening, scroll through and see what the episode's about and all that good stuff. So definitely we plan on taking advantage of that. In the future, we might upgrade our bandwidth so we can start producing more podcasts in the future. But right now, I'm happy with the hosting platform that I'm using right now. So, excuse me. That's our podcasting plan for where we stand right now.